Harrelson. A 6'2" senior, number 21, Ace Buckner. And a 7' senior, number 44, Steve Solano. Head coach, Pat Holmes.
Welcome to Nike EYBL Scholastic at Marshall County Hoopfest on League Ready. We're live from Reed Condor Gymnasium at Marshall County High School in Draffenville, Kentucky for high school hoops. Today's matchup features a pair of Nike EYBL Scholastic teams, La Lumiere from LaPorte, Indiana, against Orangeville Prep from Orangeville, Ontario, Canada. My name is Jeremy Rose. Alongside me, Jeff Waters. A battle of heavyweights right out of the gate here at this year's Marshall County Hoop Fest.
Jeremy, always good to be with you in one of the great palaces of high school hoops anywhere in the nation. And you're right, teams that are very familiar to the fans here at Hoop Fest always bring a good quality play of basketball here to this event now in its 23rd season.
A four-guard attack, and let's take a look at today's starting lineups brought to you by Nike. Ace Buckner, Jerry Easter II, Darius Adams, and Jalen Harrelson in the backcourt with Steven Solano up front for La Lumiere. Orangeville Prep will counter with this attack. They will have a three-guard lineup: Torian Lee, Xavier McLean, Jack McMahon, Owen Kinney, and Johan Munch. These teams have traveled a long way to play here in Western Kentucky here this afternoon, and I know they're excited and ready to get things going.
Get a look there at Pat Holmes. He's the 7th-year head coach at La Lumiere, and again, no stranger to this event, always a crowd favorite. A minute ago, we saw Coach Larry Blunt with his Orangeville Bears gathered around him for some final instructions and getting ready to get this one underway.
Larry Blunt back for a second go-round with Orangeville Prep after being with the Bears from 2013 through 2016. We're set to go, and the opening tip is controlled by La Lumiere. Easter now to Harrelson. Out to Easter, and the jumper won't go.
Get a look at Torian Lee bringing the ball up the floor. He's a 5'10 junior.
Some big boys battling on the inside. As here is Munch. Now around the court they go, but take it away. And here goes Buckner to the lane. The shot won't go. It looked like it hung on the rim there, but just enough for Solano to put in, and La Lumiere takes the early lead. Kenny looked down low and taken away, and here is Easter. And we've got a tie-up, it looks like, on this one.
Get a jump ball. That was a great block by Solano down here on Orangeville's offensive end. It was a great cut, but then Solano was able to drift over and block the shot. Not going to get too many easy things at the basket with the 7 feet tall Steve Solano there.
And a quick whistle, and
not exactly sure. I don't know if there was something on the floor. I guess there was a.
Looks like something there. It looks like that Harrelson is a little shaken up on that play. A drive to the rim by Lee, and it won't fall. Lakers with the basketball. In and out, but kept alive. They get the shot clock here in these games at 30 seconds, and of course it goes down to 20 on a second chance. 2-0. La Lumiere with the early lead. Almost picked off.
Good deny there by Darius Adams, getting out on the wing there to knock that one out of bounds. See what Orangeville can do here. This man-to-man defense from La Lumiere is sticky.
Lee Over now, here is McLean. To Kenny, down low, McLean, and an offensive foul.
Kind of a tough break for Orangeville, Jeremy, because when they ran that set, they were able to pull Solano away from the basket as he chased his man out toward the free throw line area and left that cut open down there, but an offensive foul called.
Backcourt pressure, and Easter across the stripe. Adams, jump stop into the lane, and he got it to go. Adams looked like he was going to be covered up as he tried to get into the paint there, but nice little move to make it 4-0 La Lumiere. And a steal. Here is Adams to the basket, and he can't get the layup to go. McLean back into front court for the Bears. Lee. Now to McMahon, back to Lee. Lee on a drive. Now back to McMahon. The shot won't go. Good ball movement to get the ball in the lane. And a foul is called, and this will put Jerry Easter the second at the stripe.
And for folks that may not know, Jeremy, this these games in the Hoopfest are under the new NFHS rules when it comes to fouls, as far as there is no such thing as the 1-and-1 anymore. You get 5 fouls, the limit each quarter. Once a team gets to 5, the other team shoots the double bonus the rest of the quarter, then it resets with the start of the next quarter.
It is the same rule that was put into women's college basketball a few years back, and I think that it has been a very, very good rule and one that kind of keeps things moving along.
You have Jerry Easter there at the free throw line. He is a junior point guard, 6'3", 185, from Toledo, Ohio, ranked number 25 by ESPN in his class. He's a 4-star recruit, has a ton of offers from Michigan State, Alabama, Arizona State, Arkansas, Illinois, Florida State, Missouri, and several others.
And an overguard into front court here by Darius Adams as he will pick up his first, and the first on La Lumiere. Chuck Love will check into the game. Chuck Love the third from Lincoln, Nebraska. And a collision at midcourt, the ball falls out of bounds, and it will be La Lumiere that will have the basketball.
Chuck Love, a 6'7" junior. This La Lumiere team, Jeremy, loaded with good juniors.
Harrelson, a big guard. Here's Easter with a little floater that won't go. It is loose. La Lumiere keeps it alive. Again, into the paint. It is Harrelson this time. It won't go. And the Bears will have it. Still not on the board. 5-0 La Lumiere with the lead. McMahon. And a steal. Here's Easter for the lay-in. That pressure defense in the half court there, Jeff, is really causing problems for Orangeville Prep in the early going. It is 7-0 as Orangeville Prep wants to talk things over. 4:03 to play here in quarter number 1.
Yeah, you're right about that defensive pressure. It's making it very difficult for Orangeville to get into any of their sets, to get into any of their actions. And they've had a couple of nice sets where they were able to get some guys open on some cuts to the basket, coming out, setting some solid screens, getting some guys loose toward the bucket. On the first one of those, Solano was able to come over and block the shot and prevented the easy bucket there. And then in the second instance, they got rung up for an offensive foul. So they have had a couple of times where they've made some pretty good moves to the basket, had some opportunities, But points will not be easy to come by for either one of these teams, for that matter. Is you get a chance when you see these teams in person to appreciate just how good they are defensively. I don't think a lot of times people appreciate exactly how well these teams play defense. I think a lot of the misconception is they just run up and down the floor and try to outscore each other, and that's not the case at all. These teams, you can tell, are schooled in good, solid defense.
La Lumiere may have some size as well, but they're also very physically built. This is a strong-looking high school basketball team, which I think is one reason that has caused the Bears to have some trouble here in the early going.
Substitution into the game for Orangeville, Atak McCour. He's a 6'2 junior. Hayes has the ball right there, number 2.
Into the corner, and here is McMahon, who buries the 3. And the Orangeville Prep gets on the board at 7-3, 3.5 to play here in quarter number 1. Step back by Buckner is good.
Jeremy, a local connection for Ace Buckner. He's the son of Greg Buckner, who played at University Heights Academy in Hopkinsville, which is just about 40 miles to the southeast of us here. And then his dad, Greg, went on and played, had a very successful career at Clemson University in the mid and late 90s. And Ace is headed to Clemson, too. Greg Buckner spent many years as an NBA player and as an NBA assistant with the Cavaliers. So got that connection here just down the road from Hoptown, and a great basketball area in Hopkinsville and Christian County here in western Kentucky.
Orangeville Prep has picked up their 3rd team foul, and a 3 out high by Chuck Love. The 3rd is good, and it's up to a 10-point advantage now for the Lakers. And a steal. Buckner to the basket, good, and the foul.
Great finish at the rim by Buckner. We were just talking about him. He is going to play his college basketball at Clemson as well. He is a senior. Upshaw checking into the game. Amari Upshaw, he's a 6'4 freshman for Orangeville.
Buckner had to go strong to the basket there to get that one to go, and now he's at the line for a 3-point play opportunity.
Have a veteran officiating crew. Don Gilmore, Jeff Stokes, Lewis Moffitt are 3 men in the striped shirts here this afternoon.
Lee. 3 ball won't go, but kept alive, and Orangeville Prep will get a second opportunity here. McCour is fouled. Reach in on Chuck Love, the 3rd.
Upshaw bringing some instant energy off the bench for Orangeville, Jeremy. You saw him hang in there and keep that possession alive for Orangeville to give them a chance to have another opportunity to cut into this 13-point La Lumiere lead.
Easter is back into the game for La Lumiere. Here's Lee. And blocked from behind by Buckner, out of bounds. You can guarantee that Ace Buckner had this series matchup circled as this season started, as he knows that Dad played just down the road and has I guess he played here at Reed Condor Gymnasium at some point.
Well, I remember his dad well. His dad was a terrific player and went on and just had a great career on the college and the professional level.
Kieran Mullen with the basket. And it's 16-5. La Lumiere, and a partial block there by McCour, and here comes McCour with the basketball. Amari Upshaw, and now for Lee, Torian to McCour. A 3 is off the back of the rim, but they're able to keep things alive as the rebound came down to Mullen. He has it, and his shot is blocked by Easter. 9 on the shot clock, and a 3 out of the corner is good by Munch.
Johan Munch from Copenhagen, Denmark. Jeremy just arrived at Orangeville back in September.
16-8. La Lumiere with the lead. 1:10 to play in this first quarter. And a 3-ball won't fall, and Orangeville Prep can cut even further into this early lead. Lee, 3 rims in and out. Buckner with the basketball for the Lakers. Good guard matchup there between Buckner and Lee. Lee almost takes it away, and he's almost committing a foul there as well. Into the paint. Shot by Bell Jr. won't go. Back up. It still won't fall, and Orangeville Prep again with McClure. Right corner. Upshaw won't go. 25 seconds to play. And we've got a double dribble. And so the turnover will give it back to Orangeville Prep. Down to 22 seconds to go.
Jonas Muya, number 35, 6'9" sophomore, into the game for La Lumiere. Harrelson is also back in, along with Adams.
Lee with Buckner on him. Shot clock is off. Lee continuing on into the paint, and he is fouled.
Well, you can see what Torian Lee wants to try to do. He wants to get downhill, see if he can break the defense down. If he can't get something at the rim, he's got some shooters hanging out in the corners and on the wings looking for the kickouts.
Buckner picked up the foul. And here is McClure to end the quarter. It won't go. 16-8. La Lumiere got out to the early lead, and they lead as we've hit the end of the first. You're watching Nike EYBL Scholastic Live from Marshall County Hoopfest. Chipotle, real ingredients, real flavors. Chipotle, for real.
And again, we're here at the Marshall County Hoopfest, the 23rd installment of this event. Take a look at some of the players that have played in this event over the years. Carmelo Anthony, Kevin Durant, Derrick Rose, Monte Ellis, Josh Smith, Jamal Murray. It's a who's who of some of the best high school basketball talent that has gone on to have tremendous college and NBA careers over the past almost 2.5 decades. And the crowds will continue to make their way in, and by the time everybody gets off of work, heads on out here, we'll have a full house here tonight at Reed Condor Gymnasium, one of the great high school venues anywhere in the country. But you have a La Lumiere team that is out to a 16-8 lead. We were talking about, speaking of Carmelo Anthony, there he is, 10-time NBA All-Star. Jeremy, you and I remember he actually took his ACT here before he played what was his second game that particular year in the 01 Hoop Fest. Took his ACT here, and then the very next year led Jim Boeheim's Syracuse Orange to the national championship.
Nike EYBL Scholastic is brought to you by Nike, only Nike. La Lumiere with the basketballs. We start the second period with Carmelo Anthony watching as LaCour works across the stripe. Torian Lee now to Upshaw, to LaCour. Carmelo became Syracuse eligible after that ACT here. And here's a slip by McClure. And we may see some slips like that on this court, as it is rather warm here in Western Kentucky, and sometimes this time of year during the regular season of high school basketball that goes on here. This floor does get a little slippery at times.
Wow, what a shot.
Buckner looking like Carmelo Anthony there on that move. Gives him 8. Back to a 10-point advantage for the Lakers. Upshaw. Now for Kinney, and left side. Torian Lee with the 3 that is good. 18-11. And a banked in 3 straight away by Jerry Easter. He's got 6. Back to a 10-point game, and Lee and Buckner with a big collision. The other way we go, and with the ball, it is Harrelson underneath. He can't get the shot to go, and it's out of bounds, and will stay with La Lumiere. 19 on the shot clock.
Jack McMahon returns to the lineup for Orangeville Prep. Solano is back in for La Lumiere.
Adams won't go. Rebound to Mullen. Now to Lacour, who gets into the paint. Corner 3 is good from McMahon. 6 from McMahon. 21-14. La Lumiere, 5:50 to play in the first half. A straightaway look at a 3 and an unguarded 3 by Jalen Harrelson. And it is 24-14, back to the double-digit lead with 5:44 to play here in this first half.
Jalen Harrelson, 6'6", junior from Fishers, Indiana. In the junior class, he is ranked number 11 overall in the ESPN Top 60, a 5-star recruit. Still has yet to make his college choice, but holds offers from many, many schools, including Auburn, Indiana, Iowa, Michigan, Michigan State, Notre Dame, Ohio State, Purdue, Duke, and several others. He's had visits to Auburn, Notre Dame, and to Michigan State. He is a newcomer to the La Lumiere program for this season. Averaged at Fishers High School in Indiana, 16 points as a freshman and over 23 per game as a sophomore.
Let's take a look at today's Player Spotlight, brought to you by Chipotle. And today's spotlight is on Jalen Harrelson, who just banged down that 3. He would order the chicken bowl with white rice, sour cream, and lettuce. Now, I'm not a big sour cream guy, but the rest of that would be just fine with me.
I like those choices. That would be pretty close to what I would order, except I'd probably order a double order.
Of the chicken or the rice?
Both.
Oh. A steal by Adams, and it's a 12-point advantage now for La Lumiere. And toward the interior, ball batted down by Love, and here is Easter. Baseline jumper, no, back up and in by Love. He has 5, and Orangeville Prep asks for time. Full timeout here with the score 28-14. La Lumiere with the advantage, and great job of crashing the boards there by Love. And the lead extended again out to 14.
And it's the biggest lead of the afternoon for La Lumiere. La Lumiere from LaPorte, Indiana. Talking about some of their players, Darius Adams, the shooting guard. He holds a whole bunch of offers as well. He is a top 60 ESPN recruit. And he is also a newcomer to the La Lumiere program of this season. Among his offers, Kansas, Virginia Tech, Indiana, Rutgers, Rick Pitino's St. John's squad, Syracuse, Washington, Florida State. He's been on unofficial visits to Tennessee, Indiana, and Notre Dame here this fall. In his first 2 years of high school, he's well over 1,000 points. And His sister, Destiny Adams, will play basketball at Rutgers next season after playing at North Carolina for the past 2 years.
Does Carmelo realize the camera's on him? I would say yes.
I remember him being an incredibly gracious young guy when he was here back in '01, accommodated all the autograph requests, and of course he was one of the top draws to the very first Hoopfest here at Marshall County High School, and people fondly remember his visit here back in early December of 2001.
Orangeville Prep with the basketball now, down by 14. McClure with 10 on the shot clock. A corner three from Mullen that won't go. Second opportunity here from Kenny, and he buries it. Owen Kenny, a Canadian native.
5 of Orangeville's 6 made field goals from behind the arc.
Good ball movement over into the corner for Easter. No, but underneath it's Adams. Second chance for him won't fall, but they keep it alive. Love with it. Quick pass inside, and the shot won't go from Solano, and this time he is fouled.
I have to be impressed with the effort that Darius Adams gave there on the offensive glass, just kind of hanging in there. Couldn't cash in the putback attempts, but kept it alive. And now you're looking at Lumiere with an opportunity at the free throw line. Solano, a right-handed shooter, his first one off the mark.
Solano, a 7-footer from the Bronx. 4:04 to play.
Solano took an official visit to St. John's in July. He's got a ton of other offers as well.
Second free throw is good. He makes 1 out of 2, and now with 3 points. And a steal on the inbound. Easter waits for help. The 3 is good. Danny Murray, 6'4" sophomore, knocks it down, and McClure is shaken up on the play. Like his right side of his ankle there. That happened on the previous play, as you're seeing it as the 3 went down. And let's hope he's all right.
Danny Murray with that 3 there, Jeremy, for Lumiere, the 7th different player for them to score already in the game, and still almost 4 minutes to play until halftime.
Jen Solman, who does extraordinary work as the athletic trainer here at Marshall County High School for all sports, over to give McClure a look. Torian Lee back into the lineup. 32-17, La Lumiere with the advantage. 3:40 to play in this first half. Just 1 foul has been called here in this second quarter so far, as we're well under the halfway mark. Ball will stay with Orangeville Prep. Orangeville is a Toronto area school.
We're talking about Johan Munch earlier for Orangeville. Jeremy, over the last year, he's grown 6 inches and now stands at 6'10". He wears jersey 0 for Orangeville. And
shot clock violation here.
Don't see that too often.
No, you know, the one example that I can think of was it happened to him twice between his freshman and sophomore seasons. Was Marshall County alum, former SEC co-player of the year, and also a member of a number of different NBA teams, including the Rockets and the Suns and the Bucks and the Warriors, and that's Dan Lange. He had that happen to him. 6 inches over one summer, 6 inches over the next, and he ended up at 6'11".
Melvin Bell, 6'4" junior, becomes the 8th different player for La Lumiere to score so far. And that was a very pretty fall-away jump shot off the right elbow by him.
Unforced turnover there on Orangeville Prep. 34-17. I didn't expect this to be kind of the difference in the early part of this game. Here's Murray. Adams. Now to Buckner. Bell, it won't go, but he's fouled.
Comes with 2:31 to play in the first half. And crowd continuing to make their way in here to Reed Condor Gymnasium on the campus of Marshall County High School.
Johan Munch picked up that personal. That's his first. Second here in the quarter on Orangeville Prep. Melvin Bell Jr. 6'4" junior from Chicago. First one is good. Second one is also good. So we are glad that you are with us from Reed Condor Gymnasium, Marshall County High School in Orangeville, Kentucky. 5,500 seat venue, home to the Marshalls and Lady Marshalls here in far western Kentucky. And the court named after, at the time, all-time winningest coach in Kentucky, Howard Beth. There are a lot of banners that hang in here that he was the head coach of the team. McClure back into the lineup. Shot won't go. Back into front court. Quickly, it's Buckner, and he puts it in.
Well, he's been impressive, hasn't he? Just smooth, gliding down the floor, and body under control, that little floater in the lane.
Here's the third made three from Jack McMahon. And so far, Jeff, McMahon is what's been keeping Orangeville Prep in the game.
Yeah, and the three-point shot in general, they've made just one 2-point field goal so far.
Harrelson in the corner. Now for Murray. It won't fall. The rebound is to McLean. McClure. Now here's Lee. Munch into the paint. The shot won't fall, but he is fouled.
Good drive. Munch took it, gave that little fake, got his shoulder in front of the defender, and took it down the left side of the lane.
Murray with the foul. It comes with 1:19 to play in this first half.
I thought they were going to give Munch free throws there.
I did too.
Sure looked like he was in the act, but the official said no.
Lee was out of options there and had to get that one off the shin of Jerry Easter. A look at Larry Blunt, Bears head coach. Here's Lee. Lee almost slipped out there. Here's Kenny. Owens' three won't go. Quickly, it's Easter into the lane. Little floater, no. Orangeville Prep has another opportunity with 55 seconds to play before halftime. Lee in a battle with Easter. Good ball movement to the left side for Lee. It was blocked. Blocked by Easter, and La Lumiere has it. Leading by 18 with 35 seconds to play. Adams. Now a drive is short from Harrelson. Back up by Easter. It won't go, but he's fouled.
We're talking about Ace Buckner. Jeremy, another connection. Mentioned he played at University Heights Academy. Was part of a state championship team in 1992 here in the Commonwealth with the Blazers. And the head coach of UHA at that time, Jeff Jackson, the former coach here at Marshall County High School.
There's a lot of roads that lead in and out of Marshall County for sure in the basketball world. And it is a small community. 4 towns in the county of just over, 30,000?
30,000, yes.
Second free throw is good. But this event is one of the events that draws national attention each and every year. Lee was pushed into backcourt, but the official let that one fly. Corner 3 off the back iron, and down with it is Bell, and he lost it. Here's a 3 that won't go from McLean, and we have reached halftime. La Lumiere with a 40-20 advantage over Orangeville Prep. You're watching Nike EYBL Scholastic Live from the Marshall County Hoopfest.
Now's a good time to visit our concession
Welcome back to Nike EYBL Scholastic at Marshall County Hoopfest here on League Ready.
You take a look at Carmelo Anthony. He is a Hoopfest alum, and he is here not just as a fan of basketball and a fan of the Hoopfest. He's here as a father as well, because later tonight his son will take the floor as part of the Long Island Lutheran Crusaders team, as they will play the 7 o'clock game tonight against Carmelo's alma mater, Oak Hill Academy.
Should be a good one.
Interesting connection there, but he's here to check out some of the earlier matchups as well. You have La Lumiere leading by 20 here at the break over Orangeville Prep. Orangeville was able to kind of hang around with some timely three-point shooting. They're going to have to find a way to generate some more offense, though, and it's going to have to start really with rebounding and with taking better care of the basketball. You look at some of the statistics from the first half, Jeremy. La Lumiere out-rebounded Orangeville 25-16, and then 13 turnovers compared to just 3 for La Lumiere. So you look at it, that's 19 extra possessions theoretically that La Lumiere had. It led to a total of 14 more shots from the field for La Lumiere. So it's easy to see why they're out to this 20-point halftime lead.
Nike EYBL Scholastic is brought to you by Nike Only Basketball and by Chipotle. Real ingredients, real flavors, Chipotle for real. La Lumiere with possession, up 20. Solano, and the three won't go, but back up by Solano, no, but a foul. Harrelson let one hang, but it didn't go, and now Solano will be at the stripe.
One of two there so far this evening.
Munch with the foul. That is his second.
And if you missed it earlier, the new rule in the high school game this year is there is no such thing as the 1-and-1 anymore. It recycles every quarter. Once a team commits 5 fouls in a quarter, the other team begins to shoot the double bonus for the remainder of that quarter, and then it resets at the beginning of the next quarter.
Pat Holmes. Check of him there. Head coach for La Lumiere. 40-20. Lakers with the advantage. Here is Orangeville Prep back on the attack. A three that won't fall. TJ St. Louis into the lineup for the first time for the Bears. Tiptoeing along the baseline, it's Harrelson. Now here is Adams. Easter with a little floater that's pretty.
7 in the game now for him.
And the lead continues to build. It's 42-20. 6.5 to play in this third period. And did we get a whistle on that one? There was collision, or did we get a timeout? I didn't see.
I don't think we've had a foul call. Doesn't appear to be, at least.
And what was the whistle for there?
I don't know.
Nothing comes of it. La Lumiere with the basketball. Here is Easter, and now here is a whistle and a foul, and this will be on Torian Lee. And that'll be the third on Lee.
The foul is on one, Torian Lee. That's his third, team second.
Lee aggressive defensively, but has to be careful now with that third foul, and I'm not sure any chance Orangeville has of a comeback in this game. I think Torian Lee's got to be on the floor for them.
Solano muscles it over St. Louis. It doesn't fall, and crashing the boards is Buckner, and he ends up stepping over the baseline.
McMahon was a guy that made 3 threes in the first half. He's got it there on the left wing. They're trying to free him up if they can, but Lumiere, of course, knows that he made 3 first-half threes. They're paying extra special attention to him.
Lee with 5 on the shot clock. McMahon now with 2 lets it go, and this one did just get a little bit of the rim, but the rebound came down to Lumiere. Buckner to the baseline. Shot won't fall, but a foul. So Buckner will head to the stripe.
Well, I have another local connection for you, Jeremy, because we were talking about University Heights Academy, where Ace Buckner played his high school, or where his dad, Greg, played his high school basketball, won a state championship here in Kentucky. Steve Smith, the former Oak Hill Academy head coach for many, many, many years, he's here tonight enjoying the games. And, of course, coached Carmelo Anthony at Oak Hill Academy. But did you know where Steve Smith, who is a native of Kentucky, where his first head coaching job was?
No, I know he's from the central part of the state, but no, I don't.
UHA, University
really?
Heights.
I didn't realize that.
I think somewhere around 79, 80, somewhere in that neighborhood.
I saw Steve before the game here today, and he is tanned as normal. Looks like he just got off the beach, and he was relaxed. Lumiere with Solano for the slam. 46-20. Lumiere. And that's just getting down after the loose ball that created an easy flush. There is Coach Smith. He doesn't look as relaxed right now.
Well, the game is going on.
4:40 to play in the third. Torian Lee. McMahon gets into the paint. Lost it, and now a reach-in foul. You know, Jeff, Oak Hill has been coming to Marshall County for many, many years, but then they went on a 10-year hiatus, and 2013 was the last time that they played in
I knew it
Hoopfest.
had been a while. I didn't realize it had been that long. I knew it had been a while since they had been here, but I wasn't aware it had been 10 years.
They are excited to be back, and I think that's another thing. They had become the second home team here at Marshall County, as they would play here a number of times during the season. And, in fact, there were a couple of nationally televised games that were put on for them to play here because the crowd always enjoyed them being here, and they would always have a tremendous gate from seeing them here. And so to have them back, I think is something that has really engaged the community, and you're going to see a lot of people here tonight.
There's a large fan base for Oak Hill Academy here. And going back, Jeremy, even into the 1980s, there was a series where Oak Hill played Marshall County High School here in regular season games for I think 3 or 4 years in a row. And one of those years, Marshall County actually defeated Oak Hill Academy, one of the few public schools that's done that. Marshall County team that featured future Vanderbilt players Dan Hall and Aaron Beth.
Solano down low. I was here, Jeff, for that game. I set up in the end zone, and that's about all I remember about it was I knew that they won. I was pretty young. 51-22. I'll make Dan Hall and Aaron Beth feel old. Lee. And McLean can't get it to go. Down to 3 minutes to play here in the third, and the lead just keeps getting bigger, and Buckner continues his onslaught.
First chance I've had to watch him play. Of course, I saw his father play a number of times in high school and college, but I've just really enjoyed watching Ace Buckner play. It's been a fun guy to watch.
Corner from McClure to Lee, and the ball is out of bounds, and it will stay with Orangeville Prep.
Well, you know, Clemson is delighted to have another Buckner coming into their program, given what Greg Buckner did with the Clemson Tigers.
He was one step inside the logo at midcourt there when he let that one go. Well, it's always fun to see these second-generation players play. We're seeing it in the Commonwealth of Kentucky right now at the University of Kentucky with Reed Shepherd, who has taken the state by storm, and Buckner will do the same next year when he gets to Clemson. Love with a three that won't fall. 54-22 with 2:10 to play. Torian Lee, McClure, and the three won't fall. And back the other way and out of bounds. I've been really, surprised that Orangeville Prep has not been able to put up any more of a fight here in this one so far. La Lumiere has just gotten out and gotten going here tonight, and they have this 54-22 lead with just over 10 minutes or just under 10 minutes to play in this one.
Well, it's been all about rebounding and ball security, Jeremy, and Orangeville has struggled with that. And La Lumiere has really taken advantage of their extra opportunities by the turnovers and on the offensive glass. In fact, of the rebounds that La Lumiere had in the first half, they actually had more offensive rebounds than they had defensive rebounds.
Mullen now for Munch. McClure.
A nice move there. It should be a goaltending. A nice move by Atok McClure.
So McClure with his first bucket comes with 1:26 to play in the third. And if some of you are seeing this court and thinking something just looks different in here from the years that you may have attended, well, there is a difference in here, and that is that they have changed the scorers table and benches to the opposite side. They're now in front of the bleachers instead of being in front of the chair seats as they have been since the building opened. I like it. Seems to open things up a little bit more. I don't know. That may not really be that way, but that's the way that it seems. 1:15 to go in the third, 54-24. La Lumiere with the advantage. And here is Bell. It won't fall. Back up and in from Love. 7 from Love. Backdoor play. There, yeah. Lee to McClure. Lee, and now a diagonal to McClure for three. Boy, that's the best looking set that they've ran tonight.
You're right. They really moved the ball, skipped it around. Was moving quickly around the horn, and finally led to an open shot there.
Coach Pat Holmes said one shot here. Shot clock is off. 15 seconds to play in the third. Buckner has a big screen out high. And he lets it fly for three. It won't go, and we have hit the end of quarter number 3, and it continues to be all La Lumiere. 56-27 as we have hit the end of the third. And again, I just feel like this is kind of a shocking start so far for Hoopfest here, as this should have been a big heavyweight battle. We've just not seen it.
You see on the replay there a terrific fake and then a little floater along the baseline there by Jerry Easter II. He is 10 points, one of the players in double figures for La Lumiere. They have had 8 different players score in this game, and something else that kind of stands out for this game is Orangeville Prep. They had just one made 2-point field goal in the first half, and they're at 2. They've just made 2 2-point field goals. It gives you an idea of how difficult it's been for them to get anything going toward the basket or anything in the post against the size and the length of La Lumiere.
Nike EYBL Scholastic is brought to you by Nike, only Nike, and by Chipotle. Real ingredients, real flavors, Chipotle, for real. Well, there's a guy who had a line of shoes from Nike, and Carmelo Anthony. I also see Jalen Harrelson for La Lumiere in some Ja Morant 1s, and Ja Morant played his college basketball just about 20 miles south of this venue at Murray State. And current Memphis Grizzly. Tell you somebody else that you want to make a connection there, Jaren Jackson Jr., who played at La Lumiere, who is now one of the big studs in the NBA. Jaren Jackson Jr., Michigan State Spartan as well. 56-27. La Lumiere with the lead with 7:40 to go. Easter for 3. And a foul on the rebound, and this is going to be on La Lumiere, isn't it?
Yeah, I think they're going to get Melvin Bell. Maybe a little push. Didn't look like a whole lot of contact, but enough to draw the whistle. Oh, it was Mua, beg your pardon.
56-27, 7:20 to go. McClure to the top for Munch. No, but no rebounding by La Lumiere, and Orangeville Prep gets a second chance. McClure was hammered out high. He drives on, the shot won't fall, and La Lumiere in possession. Bell lost this one, and Lee has it again. Here is McMahon. No. Rebound, Munch, and now knocked away from McLean, and here goes Easter the other way for a lay-in.
La Lumiere is going to grab a timeout here, their second of the afternoon. 6:35 to go, and a 31-point lead for La Lumiere. The biggest advantage that they have had in this ball game has been 32 points. Jeremy, coming up next, we're going to have Link Academy. The Lions were 27-1 last season. They're going to be taking on Legacy Early College. It's a matchup of Lions. You have the Legacy Early College Lions against the Link Lions. And this one will get underway about 15 or 20 minutes after the conclusion of our game here between La Lumiere and Orangeville Prep.
Well, the public address announcer corrected what our thought was on that foul just a few moments ago, and the public address announcer here at Reed Condor Gymnasium, and actually for all Marshall County sports, is Dennis Faust, who is in year who knows of doing this, and he is the most familiar voice you're going to hear over a sound system anywhere in this end of Kentucky.
I know he's at 35 years at least, maybe a little more than that. Yeah, going back a while.
He is absolutely one of the best humans that you will ever meet. Melvin Bell with the foul, his first. Second team foul. He doesn't talk like that he sounds when he gets on the public address. And I asked him one day, I said, why do you change? What goes on there? And he said, I grew up loving the sound of John Tong, who was the longtime public address announcer for Freedom Hall and the University of Louisville.
And also for the boys' state tournament here in Kentucky as well.
That's right. And he said, I just loved the way that he called the game, and he imitated him, and it has stuck. And the memory of John Tong will live on for a long time through the Honorable Dennis Faust. 58-30. La Lumiere. McMahon had it blocked down, comes back to it, and now here is Lee, and a three is off. Never was able to really get his feet set. Bell looks for Easter. Now here's Murray. 5:18 to play, 58-30. Easter to Murray. Three in the corner won't fall from Harrelson. And a foul here on Melvin Bell. Play has gotten a little sloppy here at this point in the game. We're late in the game, and the spread here is pretty high.
See Melvin Bell, he's another one of that talented group of juniors on this La Lumiere team. He's a four-star recruit. And the class of 2025, ranked number 22, he is still mulling all of his college offers. They include Illinois, Michigan, Missouri, Stanford, Toledo, and several others.
Xavier McLean with a three, 58-33, 4:30 to go. Well, one thing about it, La Lumiere can't just stop here. This lead is big, but you never know in high school basketball for sure, and especially when you've got players of this caliber.
McLean's made a couple of threes here in the last couple of minutes for Orangeville Prep, and that's really been the extent of their offense today. They've had to settle for pretty much everything from behind the arc. Solano's going to get back in at the next whistle for La Lumiere.
Here is Lee. McMahon. No, and La Lumiere with the basketball with 3:55 to play. Three
Great
from
pass
the corner
there
won't
by
go.
Adams. He's not able to get the shot to go. It was a great look into the corner there.
McLean. In and out. La Lumiere. 58-33. 3:30 to play in game one of the Marshall County Hoopfest. And a bucket and a foul here. Nope. Check that. It's going to be an offensive foul there.
Yeah, Harrelson called for the charge. I'm curious to see. I think it's going to happen at some point. I just don't know when. I have to think it will when they're going to adopt the arc underneath the bucket in the high school game like they have now in the, of course, had it in the pros for many years and the college game for a few years now.
And here is an illegal screen, and we're going back the other way. Yeah, you're right. I think it has to get here soon. And it has stopped some injuries from guys that just get up in the air and are underneath that basket. At least they've got a little warning. They know that they can't go any farther, moving straight on with the basketball if somebody's going to slide over in front of them.
Yeah, and I really thought that it would have been something that maybe, of course, the free throw rule has changed this year. That's a major change. Boy, what a powerful move inside by Solano. He's got 9 points in the game now. I'm also curious to see, I think we're up to over 20 states nationwide now that have adopted the shot clock in the high school game. Of course, these teams play with the shot clock as Lee's going to launch a three that's good. But you hear a lot of people really starting to make the case for the shot clock across high school basketball nationwide. And last time I saw is that'll be a crowd pleaser. We're up to over 20 states that have implemented the shot clock in the high school game.
And I don't know where I stand on it, to be honest, and I don't think it really matters to anybody else what I feel about it. But I kind of like the old school style, but I also like the fast-paced style too. I like them both. I can enjoy both of those games. And here's Harrelson for three that is good, and he's got 9. But you got to think it's coming at some point. You know, I think the rub is that, as you see Solano with the lob, it would create an extra person having to be on the scorer's table, and that in some places that might be hard to get them, that person to do that. But there's probably some people clamoring to do things like that just never ask. 65-38.
I'm sorry, Jeremy. New player into the game for Orangeville, seeing his first action of the night, Jan Kuaku Afeli. He is a 6'5 junior.
Put back.
Mua was the only player on La Lumiere's roster, Jeremy, that had yet to tally a score tonight, and he just did there. So all 9 players that dressed tonight for La Lumiere have scored at least 1 bucket.
Oh, they put on an impressive performance. There is no doubt about it. McCurr thought he was fouled, didn't get the call. Here is Adams to Murray in the corner. Under a minute to go. A three that is good from Chuck Love III.
Puts him in double figures with 10, his second triple of the night.
70-38. McMahon. It won't fall, but it is kept alive. Kuakua Afley. Lee. No, and the rebound comes down to Murray. 20 seconds to play, and La Lumiere will attempt to hold things for the final shot, but McCord keeps playing, and he forces a turnover. I like that.
Play. He's going to play to the final horn. He's been a bright spot for Orangeville, no doubt about it. Coming in off the bench, he's given them 7 points, good energy.
Yeah, I like that.
Just a junior.
There's a horn that's going to sound that will tell them when it's over. Until then, go. Lee. Into the paint. Nice move. Couldn't get it to fall. Buckner picks up the foul. We've not heard a lot out of Buckner in the last few, but what a game he has had. He's picked up his third. 7.1 to play.
Leads all scorers with 18.
More basketball coming up following this.
We've got Link Academy and Legacy Early College. And then later tonight, it'll be Long Island Lutheran against Oak Hill Academy. We'll get to see Carmelo Anthony's son, Kyan Anthony, who plays for Long Island Lutheran.
I would say that the tip time for the next game will probably be in just about 15 minutes, as the second free throw from Lee won't go. We've reached the end of game 1 of Hoopfest here at Marshall County High School. 70-39, La Lumiere with an impressive win over Orangeville Prep. You're watching Nike EYBL Scholastic live from Marshall County Hoopfest. Nike EYBL Scholastic is brought to you by Nike, Only Basketball, and by Chipotle. Real ingredients, real flavors, Chipotle for real. For Jeff Waters, I'm Jeremy Rose. Thanks for being with us. More basketball coming up in just a few